I was in a career training at work, and I was role playing as a part of this motivational interviewing exercise that we had. And the goal was really simple, share something that we wanted to work on. And it turns out that the person that I was paired with had a similar goal, to create a better work-life balance and really prioritize self-care. So here we were, two people who spent all day advocating for others to take care of themselves, realizing that, we weren't really practicing what we were preaching. We weren't really holding ourselves accountable. And we laughed all about the self-care tools we had. She talked about all the mask she has at home, all the soap she has at home, all the scrub she has. I talked about literally having an outdoor sauna and it's still being in my box. I literally bought it for myself as a Christmas gift, and it's still in the box, y'all. I put it near my door so that I can wake up and do it as a reminder, but baby, it's still right there in the box. How bad is that? So we talked all about, these self-care tools and techniques and how we rarely take time to implement them. And it hit me hard because I've been navigating this, 9-to-5 grind, and I'm back in it. And while I'm great at managing my workday, when it comes to flexing, splitting, cutting, and just completing everything within the day, I found it almost comical or even laughable how 8 hours for myself can feel like it just disappears into thin air. Like 8 hours, I'm like, wait, I just spent 4 hours cooking? Wait, I just spent 2 hours prepping, 2 hours cooking. Now I'm spending an hour, 30 minutes eating it, 30 minutes digesting it. It's already 6 hours of my day. You know what I'm saying? Like, whew. But guess what, y'all? This weekend, I decided to really take my own advice. I slowed down. I woke up and did all the things I've been wanting to do for myself. I did my own hair. I woke up early, got my nails done, got my feet done, washed my car, got my car oil change, got home late at night. I went for a beautiful walk throughout the day, got home, put on a mask, soaked my feet, put on my massage chair, my foot massager, and just recorded for y'all. It felt so good. It felt really good to do. Not even record for y'all, edit it for y'all. And it just felt really good to do, to really unwind, to really slow down, okay? So I really believe in us just doing the things that we want to do for ourselves and making the time to do it. You know what I mean? Because life is short, or life is long, if you really do pour into yourself. You know what I mean? I showed up for my people, for my life in a way that felt energizing and true. I can honestly say that I was able to do that because I took that time. I was able to give my friends the calls they needed, give my parents the calls they needed, call my siblings the calls they needed, show up and drop off things in a timely manner that I didn't feel defeated at all, that it wasn't a burnout creeping in. It was just a genuine want to fully show up. And my mind wasn't in different places because I was able to have that slow morning where I was able to meditate, think about what I want to do, write down what I want to do, write down when I can do it in a way that I'm not just adding more and more onto my list. So today's episode is about extending that reflection. It's about holding ourselves accountable to the practices we so easily advocate for others. And honestly, it's the perfect segue to our guest. We have this practitioner who will be facilitating the Platonic event on the 26th. And honestly, this wasn't planned. Again, this wasn't planned for how I wanted to start this episode, but hey, it fits. So I wanted to dive right in and bring y'all into what exactly to expect for next week, because we are exactly 1 week before our second, but basically first space for the Platonic segment. Today we have a guest for the Artist Spotlight. And her name is Lauren of Solshine Welness. And it's going to be such a treat for y'all. But before we dive into her, I definitely want to give y'all a little bit more insight about how deep this episode is going to go. This episode will be about gender taboos, the things we don't want to talk about, the stuff that gets swept under the rug because people are scared to speak on it. One thing I always will be is the elephant in the room. Sue me. But let's get into it, okay? Welcome to Accepted Addictions with P-Dubs. Get ready to immerse yourself in a podcast that's open to people of all stripes and persuasions. Accepted Addictions is not just a podcast, it's a movement. We go over societal norms that are considered acceptable, but are often toxic to our growth, development, and even behavior. This is Accepted Addictions, where every version of you, every evolution of you, is not just embraced, but celebrated. So sit back, open your ears, grab a drink. I'll be sipping on my kombucha, and prepare for an engaging journey.
Well, everything that's supposed to be bad make me feel so good. Everything they told me not to do is exactly what I would. Man, I tried to stop, man. I tried the best I could, but what's your addiction?
Welcome back to another episode of Accepted Addictions with P-Dubs. So, in episode 1, I dropped basically my reflection or thoughts on Monique, which is a comedian, comedy special. She dropped it on Netflix, and I really want to say something about it because something she said really hit me. She talked about for years and years as a woman, she never really got the experience or opportunity to express her truest desires. She didn't get to live out parts of herself because she was afraid of being judged, afraid of being unloved, afraid of being rejected by her family. And I'm like, whoa. How many women out there walk around with that same burden? How many of us are holding on to things that we feel like we can't share because we might lose the people around us? She goes on and on about telling her newest husband about this desire she kept hidden. And I'm like, girl, that's crazy, because he was her 4th husband. And it wasn't until he was like, that's it? That's all that's been burning in your chest? Girl, go ahead. It's not a problem. It's nothing. Go ahead. And something that's been weighing on her heart for years, just like that, he's like, nah, it's not a big deal. You're good. And I want to just stop right there because this is where that shift happens. This is where we can start to break that pattern. For me, and my understanding of Monique is that she didn't have that kind of honesty in her life before. What really stuck with me was how such a heavy emotional burden was erased by a simple supportive response. A simple supportive response from her man, okay? And I couldn't help but wonder, what if Monique had a woman in her life, woman that she can trust, woman that would give her a different perspective? I don't know if she did or didn't, but to my understanding of her not being able to tell anyone that she honestly wanted to be with a woman sometimes, or sometimes I want to see what it's like to be with a woman into her 4th marriage, it made me really consider, like, how many other women feel like that? You know what I mean? I don't know. Did she have women that she could trust that could give her a different perspective or could share their own relationship with how she feels? A perspective that would have helped her see that her desires weren't wrong, they weren't shameful, but rather a natural part of being who she is, which is a woman. It really makes me think that if she had those women, perhaps she would have been honest sooner, and she would have been able to deal with the depth of her struggle. It wasn't until she got with her husband that she was able to muster that courage. And it makes me really contemplate, she didn't have the woman who could give her the real perspective, who say, look, you're not wrong for what you want. You deserve to be free in your expression. And I'm saying this now because imagine if she did, right? Imagine if she had that space to talk freely with women who get it, women who understand that our desires, our bodies, our emotions, they're not something to be ashamed of, But I'm not here just to point fingers. I'm not here to tell her to say, hey, Monique had a bad experience. Hey, the people, if she did have women in her life, why couldn't she feel safe enough to open up to them? That's not at all what this is about. I'm here to ask, what are we doing to break those walls, to unite, to create a space where we all can be real with each other without fear? That's what this episode is about. We got to stop holding things back. We got to stop letting this world tell us who we are and what we should feel. I want to begin with the Solshine Report before we go into the artist spotlight with Lauren. She'll love this article, but I definitely want her to definitely add to it.
This is the Solshine Report. An open mind is required, but the kombucha is optional.
So for the Solshine Report, I want to begin with an article that is titled, Taliban Minister Declares Women's Voices Among Women Forbidden. And it's an article by UTV. It came out October 26th, 2024. So a minister from the Taliban, well, I'm going to paraphrase it because I'm not going to read the exact article. I'm going to read some quotes from it, but I'm going to paraphrase it because it's pretty long. But basically, the minister from the Taliban announced that women are not allowed to speak publicly or be heard by other women in certain situations. So this means that women's voices, especially in public spaces, are being restricted, banned by the Taliban. And this is part of their strict rules on what women can do or cannot do. And it really limits their freedom of speech or freedom of expression, I would say. It was this quote that I saved so I could share with y'all. And it was, how are women who are the sole providers for their families supposed to buy bread, seek medical care, or even simply exist if their voices are forbidden? And that was said by a women's rights activist. She also went on to say that these orders immobilize women and have made life exhausting for all of us. And with her saying that, it was just this harsh reminder that no matter how far we go, how far we reach, there's so many controlling societies that use this concept of silence to keep women in check. You know, we've lost sight of how a woman's voice is used to be an essential part of survival, an essential part of solidarity. You know, back in the day, women's gossip wasn't just mindless chatter as some people see it as. Back in the day, gossip was something that was crucial to a woman's safety. It was a way for us to share information about who to trust, who to avoid, and what dangers were out there. It was how we protected each other. Gossip was a form of communication. It was a lifeline that kept women informed. It kept us united. And in time, you know, in a time where women's voices weren't welcome in other spaces, gossip became this really powerful tool for survival. It saved lives. And it's clear that silencing women isn't about protecting anyone. It's about controlling us. It's about limiting us. And we really need to stop seeing gossip as something negative or seeing it as something that is gonna, I don't know, it just has a negative connotation. But really it's something that is or needs to be recognized as empowerment, protection, or even connection. You know, women talking to each other, sharing our stories, and supporting one another is something we need now more than ever. And when we do that, we're breaking through these taboos, and we're creating a world where women's voices can be heard and not silenced. You know, I've been chatting a lot, so I definitely want to quench my thirst and get into this guilty pleasure segment, because I definitely want to, you know, hear what Lauren has to say about this topic specifically. So before we bring her on, I'm going to introduce the artist spotlight. And I'm going to introduce the guilty pleasure segment. So here we go. And yeah.
This is Guilty Pleasures, and you're tuned into Accepted Addictions.
So today we will be drinking on Synergy's Sacred Life. And today we have Lauren of Solshine Welness, as well as her best friend,
Tatiana. Not Tatiana.
Tatiana's actually who introduced us, so it's a great pleasure to have both of you on the show today. But today we're trying this delicious flavor, Sacred Life of Synergy. I've had Synergy a bunch of times. My favorite flavor is actually the elderberry. Have you guys ever had this? Or
I have not.
that's what I like to hear. Okay.
I'm so excited to have this one.
Okay.
I've had Synergy before, but not this one.
It's bright blue,
Radiant.
spirulina, Sacred Life.
Sacred
Oh, yeah.
Life. I feel like this
Well,
is.
cheers to that.
Well, cheers to that, and I feel like it's really like
Hell yeah.
on theme because we're working with the womb lady right now, the womb doctor, the womb Miss Womb here. So this is kind of really on theme and unintentional, unless you intentionally wanted to get this flavor.
It's always intentional in some way, but I did not make that direct connection.
It was
when I was picking it
unconscious.
out.
Okay.
I felt you through the blue.
Okay, so let's open up, try our drinks, and see what's about. What is in it? Like
I love that ginger, young coconut.
it's coconut. This flavor I can't put on. Like I'm like, what is in it?
I know.
Young coconut, ginger, and blue spirulina.
Oh, so like sugar.
Well,
No sugar. It's just made with the kombucha, the regular kombucha.
Well, isn't
Spirulina sugar? I thought it was sugar.
No,
you're talking about
Splenda.
stevia. Stevia or Splenda.
I'm like,
they taste so bad.
Ew, no. They
It's so
taste.
disgusting.
it is.
No, just have sugar cane.
This flavor is so like, it tastes like coconut water, but
What a
caffeinated.
Yeah,
You know?
with a little pizzazz.
Never had it. I don't know about getting it again. Because
For the record, I gave you a choice.
it's very it's giving medicine. Cause what?
But you need medicine.
I know,
right
but
now.
I like it. I like it. I like want you guys to go check out GT's Synergy Sacred Life. Let us know what you think about it. Comment, share. Let's see if Lauren made a good choice and if I'm being biased. So today we're talking about they've been grilling me, y'all. Because if you guys don't know this, I don't give the guests any basis about what exactly we're talking about ever. So they've been grilling me trying to find out what we're talking about. But today we're going to be talking about something that's been on my mind a lot lately. And it's gender taboos, women voices, and just how we as women have been conditioned to just, I would say, silence ourselves. And we've seen in places like Afghanistan with that new Taliban minister that basically made it a law or declared to women to have forbidden voices. What is your take on that? How do y'all feel about it? I definitely want to I'm starting heavy. That's why we have this icebreaker. But how do y'all feel? So basically in the Taliban, the minister was like, women aren't allowed to speak. Like they just have to be quiet.
At all?
At all. I mean, to each other.
Okay.
They're not allowed to speak to each other. It's over for. And it happened as of like last year.
Well, clearly it's another classic form of, male power wanting to just have power over women because of their insecurities and their lack of own strength that they need to quiet, the creators of this world.
And I think it's a very typical trend. It's obviously extremely heartbreaking, and I feel like a lot of sorrow when you talk about that. And I feel like it is a typical trend when something is coming into power that there's a direct combative force against it to bring it back down. So as the feminine energy is rising and beginning to find a little bit more ground in this world and a little bit more strength and power, there's going to be someone trying to suppress it. So I feel like it really is this typical trend that we see all the time with anything that's coming into power and therefore seen as threatening, in this case women, that something's going to come and try and suppress it to bring it down. So it's horrifying, and it affects all of us in some regard. You know, it affects just even seeing it in the news, it affects everyone being like, oh, so there is now this even greater power play between men and women elsewhere, and women feel it everywhere. We're the feelers of the earth, we're the transmuters of the earth, so we feel that pain.
So I want to be real, especially with you just like giving such a spiel when it comes to the power shift in women and men feeling like noticing it. How did you become so knowledgeable when it comes to women health in the womb? Because let's be real, you're mad smart. You know what I mean? So how did you gain all this knowledge? What was this something that you're like, let me just start studying? Like, what happened? Because, you know, everyone's on their own journey and learning and mastering whatever it is that they feel they need to learn or have their expertise in. So what was it? It was like, okay, let me learn more about the woman or myself.
Oh my gosh. It's been a journey. I feel like I'm definitely still in the thick of it. It probably started when Tati and I sat with medicine years ago, that I was able to heal a lot of parts of me, that then I was able to start unlearning and then relearning about my own power, my own body, and then of course about the power of the womb. And I was even just thinking today about how having a womb, just embodying that is a superpower alone. Like the fact that women are the actual holders of creation and the ability to create. We're the portals between earth and spirit, with the ability to birth and bring a soul to this earth. And of course that alone is very threatening, because what a freaking superpower that is. So my journey to kind of rediscover that about myself and the human body and the female body has been just incredible. And like I said, it probably started with sitting with medicine years ago with Tati and being able to kind of just almost like take off all of these layers of disconnection. That I had developed from so many years, and be able to start this journey of reconnection and celebration of my own womb, of my own body, and of just my own existence.
For those people that are, you know, new to the spiritual world or understanding themselves, what does sitting with medicine mean? Like,
well, there's different forms of medicine, right? The one particularly that Lauren is referring to, that we both sat with, that really started and propelled our journey, is ayahuasca, and which is a plant medicine, and it comes from Peru, right?
It comes from the jungle, the Amazon, all around it's found.
And so you know, you sit in a ceremony space with a shaman, and so it's guided, and it's inward.
This is crazy.
It's very much inward, and the medicine reveals to you very much everything in your body, your memories, repressed memories, connections of things, remembrance. I mean, for me, it felt like I was just a newborn baby. I did a 360. It saved.
What did you do? 360. Sorry, where were you before? Where were you before you did the ayahuasca? To where were you after? The people want to know. Okay. It's like
tell them.
Right.
I was in rock bottom. I was post divorce. I was living in LA, sold the business that I used to own with my husband at the time, got divorced, was very addicted to, moved back home to Miami from LA to start my life over. My parents have been addicted to lives, and I came back to a house with that, and you know, them knowing what I was going through, you would think that it would be more supportive, but they were going through their own addiction, and I hit rock bottom when I ended up doing parents. And so, yeah, I had really given up on life in that after that moment. I like stayed in my room for like a whole week straight. And then I see my calendar, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be in Joshua Tree in 2 weeks, because I had purchased this a year in advance.
How did you find out about it?
My massage therapist in LA. Very random. Right. I didn't even realize what I was really getting myself into really at the time.
Like, oh yeah, okay.
Right.
It's awakening.
That sounds so fun.
You know,
He was like, right?
he mentioned that
That's an interesting high.
Let's do it. He said, what to you?
he said he mentioned that he was able to speak to his grandma. Yeah.
And you're like, I want to do that.
Right.
Sold.
He expressed to me, you know, I don't remember the details at the time, but it had helped him, you know, heal a lot of things. And good Lord, me and my husband needed to do a lot of healing at the moment. So I had purchased 2 at the time for 2 ceremonies for 2 people. And so at that point, obviously I was no longer my husband, and I had this extra space. So I gifted that to Lauren.
Yeah, she called me up, and I was very aware of the medicine.
Yeah.
But I had never experienced anything of the sort. I always needed to be in control of everything, but I had immediately acknowledged it as a gift, you know, from God or from spirit, of like, this is your opportunity. Like, you're not going to go do this on your own. You need someone to call you and do this.
Somebody you love, you
and
know.
Yeah, it was completely divinely orchestrated, and that was really what catalyzed like our extreme closeness, our extreme sisterhood. And yeah, so then going out there, experiencing that, we did 2 ceremonies back to back. And yeah, I mean, I think it truly neurologically changed me. I think it absolutely transmuted things that I had held on to and that I thought were my identity into just liberating me from that and allowing them to just be past experiences, for example. And that just started this whole path for me of almost a new life. Like you said, like you were like a newborn.
Rebirth, yeah.
But was it instant or was it gradual?
It was it was instant.
Instant, like a change in your body. Like it's like a switching of the light.
It really was.
Like
on and off.
I saw things completely different.
Yeah.
Really?
And that's why it is so different, and that's why you have to, you know,
Be ready for it.
be very ready for it,
Very
and like
intentional.
and
You have to be
really
intentional.
and respect it in that way. You know, respect it as a medicine. It's not like going off and doing a recreational rave drug. It's a really like serious ceremony, serious undertaking.
You have to prep the body. You have to do.
How do you
dieta.
prep?
You do a prep of your body, meaning you do a lot of elimination of like whether it's sugars, salts, of course alcohol and everything leading up to it.
Banana.
For how long? Like a week beforehand or?
A week to 2, as long as you can do it.
And that alone, because when I realized that I had to do this, I was like, oh shit, like I have to go through a whole dieta. That alone, like helped me kind of like get out of the like depressive,
The dependencies you had, yeah.
Completely. It like, that was huge to help to even get there. Because you do have to prep the body to receive the medicine.
Yeah. So how did you even like have the switch, especially because you said you just had that rock bottom, you looked at your calendar and you're like, okay, now I have a week to get ready. How do you switch your mind to say?
I almost wasn't even gonna go.
Right, because I'm like, I wouldn't be like, especially doing that, I wouldn't just switch to be like, okay, now I got to get ready.
Right,
you know,
you're like deep in drugs, and not only you have to go, but you have to like not like you have to like not have sugar. Not, you know, it's like cold turkey.
You're like fasting for a week.
Yeah.
Like right after doing something.
But I will say a big part of that is also just like that mental connection of like, okay, I'm dedicating myself to this. I'm ready for this. I'm connecting to this, the spirit of this medicine. I'm letting you know that I am ready for you to show me what I need to be shown, for you to help me heal and understand better and reconnect to myself and my path and my truth deeper. Like I'm doing this. So it's really, it's a physical cleanse, but it's also that mental and emotional as well. You're getting completely dedicated to the journey you're about to go on.
The ceremony starts even before.
Yeah.
Right. So where were you before the ceremony actually started?
San Diego.
Physically
Physically and mentally. Yeah.
Oh,
You're like San Diego, yeah. It's like,
version of rock bottom for sure.
You were in rock bottom as well, so you feel like you were in
I've been in a form of rock bottom for many years, in a place of like, I don't think this world's for me. I don't think that this is my turn here. I tried everything in the sense of, you know, tried to get therapy, thought about going on medication. I tried so much for so long and was just stuck with, as I described it, like there was a dark cloud over me at all times. And I could put on the happy face. I was an active volunteer. I had an amazing job that was so fulfilling. I was helping people all the time. I was so fulfilled in all of the ways fulfilled in all of the ways except for really in my heart, like in my body, in my soul. I was just in this murky gray cloud for a very long time. So I was in a place of like, I might just kind of dip out. You know, I might leave this plane because it's not for me. I've been trying and failing for so long, emotionally, mentally, energetically. And then so when this fell into my lap, I was like, fuck it, what do I have to lose?
What age were you both?
25.
Yeah, 25, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And what a blessing to have gone through this together, because this is the thing about about these sort of really powerful medicine is that integration is one of the biggest things that is like necessary after ceremony. That if you don't have a community to integrate with, I mean, when we got out of there, I felt so overwhelmed. I was like, I have millions of miles of knowledge ahead of so many people. How the fuck am I gonna go back to society and just be a normal person? I was like glowing rainbow,
I'm so ahead.
Like math science is
it all makes sense
here.
Right.
I don't even like.
How can I share this
life? You know.
So what did you guys do to like kind of ground yourself?
My gosh. Yeah, leaning on each other, truly leaning on each other, because
no one ever can really get it, you know.
Yeah, and we went through it together, so like we knew, like immediately coming out of ceremony, like we found each other and we were like, oh my god, like what did you go through? What did you go through?
Right.
You know, and you asked if it was immediate, the shift, and it really was. But that's the thing about those kind of journeys or experiences is like you probably will feel an incredible shift right away. Wow. And then it's what you do with it, right?
Because you got to continue to work.
Okay, what was the work that you guys did?
That integration. So for me, it was, coming out of it in the first couple of weeks, like everything, it truly, the dark cloud had lifted away from me. And I kept telling myself, I was like, cool now, it's going to come back. It's going to come back. Like, you know how this is, Lauren. And I just kept almost gaslighting myself that I was not better, because I was like, this can't be. Like, there's no miracles.
It's too good.
This is not possible.
Yeah.
And so I think a big part of it is one, like understanding that, okay, if you do feel these shifts, like keep adding fuel to those, keep pumping that fire. And changing what doesn't align anymore. Like it's going to be really obvious what doesn't align, whether they're friendships that really need to go, relationships, job, even just like your own reactions and responses to things. Like everything's so illuminated after. It doesn't mean that you don't get angry anymore. It doesn't mean that you don't feel disconnection, you don't feel sorrow or grief. All of that's still there. It's the human experience. But now you're able to deal with it better. And I think like we still talk about it all the time. We talk about spiritual stuff 24/7. Like that's just a big part of us now that has been opened up and awakened in our
and we choose
paths.
not to like turn away from signs, right? From synchronicity and all these things, right? Once you've opened your eye to it, then you have to choose to keep it open, essentially.
Because there's a big thing of, okay, yeah, you received all of this understanding and wisdom and you feel better. Okay, but now you need to have behavior change. Like, this is still the human experience. Like, you could be dancing around and seeing fairies and all that, but unless you actually make real behavior change, you're going to revert to your old ways.
Staying with the same people, doing the same things, it kind of like, what's the point? So you immediately start hanging out. You change the people you're hanging out with.
Right.
And hanged out with yourself. Like, how did you meet your new tribe? Like,
that was a process.
You said that you simply.
For me, it was leaving Miami. You know,
Party City,
like Miami. I knew I was more in that place because it's just people are very materialistic. It's just fake tits, fake ass, steroids. People have nothing in their brains. Like I was not mentally stimulated by people. I literally felt like my soul was deteriorating. I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. And coming out here, I mean, we just found a huge community of spiritual people,
like-minded,
just nature and stuff. You know, people are more in tune with that, and so that was a big shift for me, for sure.
I think there's a piece where like you have to be ready to say goodbye to your old self.
Yeah.
Like if you're not ready to say goodbye, and like you might not be. Like maybe you need to do a couple more years of like effing around or whatever. That's fine. That's your path. Go do it. But if you're ready to say goodbye to your old self, if you're ready to let things, relationships, friendships,
I'm ready to do it tomorrow.
Old patterning,
I was like, I'm ready to do it tomorrow. I said, where's the ceremony? Because I'm like, this is the year.
And if you are ready to do that, like I said, this kind of medicine journey can be so supportive for that.
I mean, I literally, after I did it, and I still feel this way, that I feel people that go to therapists or therapy, like, no. You just need to go to
yourself. Mama
ayahuasca.
Oh, okay.
She's mother.
I was like, who are you naming?
The great mother.
She's feminine entity. And it's like, if everyone on this planet would do once every couple of years, as like a fucking...
All right, Joe Rogan.
We would. Yes. We wouldn't have silencing of the women.
Right.
Okay. You're right.
Be, so much better. But like what I did in the one ceremony of ayahuasca would have taken me years with a freaking therapist.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Exclamation point.
I mean,
semicolon, comma, done.
Right. It's too much. So you feel like it was immediate, while it's too much reprogramming of. Okay.
But then it's not a promise. I mean, that was just our experience.
Because everyone's different.
I don't want people.
No, I'm not recommending this.
Because there's a lot of people that I have found that their experiences was not like this, and some people come out of that even worse.
I know,
because they're not prepared to really like deal with it.
Yeah, because I've heard someone come out of it schizophrenic.
Yeah, I actually have a friend that came out bipolar from it.
And again, that's also, those are also lessons and whatnot that you could argue that you signed up for in this lifetime to experience. There's that argument. It's obviously very, very difficult when it affects your life like that. But I would say, oftentimes when we go into any ceremony or any scenario with an expectation that's led by ego, oh, I want to get this out of it. I want to feel this. I want to see this. I want to do this. You're going to be disappointed because these great, very wise medicines like Mama Aya, she's going to tell you and give you exactly what you need, not what you want, not what the ego wants. So people might be disappointed. They might come out differently, or they had like, some underlying dis-ease or something, or some dysregulation that's now being illuminated, and okay, now the path is to work through this that was just dormant for a while.
They're just missing those messages. So for you, how did you get into womb health, or knowing that you need to connect with your body to kind of connect with other women? Because that's a really profound and big purpose to take on from taking her. So
Gosh, I feel like it probably started with just wanting to connect to my own body. I was disconnected from my womb for ever since I knew what it was, honestly. I started taking birth control from a very young age when I'd only kind of just started menstruating. So I just destroyed any natural cycle that could have happened, destroyed my endocrine system. So I was completely disconnected from my body's natural cycle. So once I realized, or once I started just learning about my own body, my own cycle, getting off of birth control, and eventually getting to a point where I celebrate and love my period, even if it comes with pain, because I know that I embody the earthly law of transmutation, the earthly law or universal law of expansion, contraction, of creation, destruction. Like, how powerful is that? Like, that's a friggin' superpower. So going through that journey, and then eventually after years of just learning about my own body, trying to celebrate and finding the joy and like being like amazed by my blood, you know, then eventually being like, okay, now maybe I want to share this with others. I would love for other women to be able to kind of unlearn this conditioning of like your period's dirty or disgusting or it's a burden every month. No, we have this ability to every single month shed and turn anew. Men don't get that opportunity.
Right, we clean ourselves out.
Of all of the emotions that we've processed, the energy we have processed, we get to do that every single month and start anew. Like, yes!
I'm gonna leave it there because I feel like there's so much more that you are going to give people, and I don't want them. This is just a teaser, y'all. This is the sneak peek.
I get fired
because this passion I'm feeling in this room is red. Like, this room is red, y'all. The walls were white when I walked in. So I just want to make sure that the listeners know who they're about to be and they're present for our event, because this is just a sneak peek of all the wisdom that she's about to share with y'all women. Men too, because you can definitely listen in and learn and just be actual people that take care of this earth and each other. So please listen in. And I definitely what do you want to share or let people take from you as a person before the event, and just to learn and know more about you and what you have to share with the world?
I would say...
Can I say?
Yes.
Lauren is just really, truly an angel walking on this earth. And any person that crosses path with her is just straight up blessed. Straight up blessed. She is of service and just the most delicious, nurturing energy that you can have around. And yeah, you guys are very blessed to be in her presence. Because I am so lucky. I have won the lottery of this soul to be my sister, my best friend, my life partner. Yeah.
That's so tug. That was so sweet.
Yeah, of course.
It's really, really sweet.
Yeah. So I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
I think just as far as connecting with more women and be able to share all of this joy, like a true joy about being women and having wombs. I mean, it's the biggest honor, and it really excites me so much. Like, we really are the lucky ones.
You are, and I can't wait for you to kind of, because you just saying this, it just makes me illuminate, radiate inside about all the power that I hold within me. So I know that other women that don't believe that, that's why a gender taboo is so important. That's why when we come and you connect with other women that don't know anything about yoni steam, don't know that they can inhale it orally, you know what I mean? So much you're going to be sharing, and so many conversations that people are scared to have, even with each other. It's so crazy. It's so scary how sometimes it takes finally getting with a man to open up about these things. So that's why I want you to start it sooner than later for the women that are open to having these conversations. So that's exciting.
Yeah, we're doing it. Thanks for giving the platform and
the space,
amplifying the voice. I mean, truly, it's and even to go back to your intro prompt of women being silenced around the world, where I do feel like we're all silenced in some way throughout our lives, whether it's about our own power or just our voice, our expression.
Feelings.
And yeah, definitely continuing to pray and sending so much love to the women that are so imprisoned in that way. And I trust that we are on a path of greater liberation for the feminine from people like you. So thank you, Miss P Dubs. Thank you, Tati.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the work that you're doing. You know, thank you for carrying the torch for women and to, you know, talk about these difficult topics that we all can learn from.
Gotta be the elephant in the room. You know what I mean?
That is
I come and dig it out. I got to.
Like,
Gotta
hop
come
on
and
my
dig-
back, elephant.
come on,
Like,
let's-
come on, girls.
Let's just get it over with.
I'll take up all
God.
the stage.
Yes. Just come on, lean on me.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I think you guys are a breath of fresh air. Really refreshing. I really want to get into Carifo. Carifo is an artist that I truly love, honestly. The first time I ever heard her was in Insecure Season 1 in the song No Small Talk. Issa has such an ear. I already say this so often. She literally has a media company with some of my favorite artists. So it's just like, hands up. But that's besides the point. Carifo is being talked about today because I feel like her album, Real Bitches Don't Die, definitely relates to today's theme. It relates to everyday's theme. It relates to life because I can listen to that album every single day. If you want a good day, start your morning with that album, okay? But I really, really love her, bro. She said, I need the space to be soft, put my armor off. I need the space to be soft to show you all my flaws. I need the space to be soft. Oh my God. Drunk word. She said, this is from my gangster bitches that need forehead kisses. Like, I don't even want to go hard because she go hard. Like, oh my God. I gotta just play it. Sorry. I told y'all I'm done giving y'all snippets of music, but I need to just play her because Felix produced the fuck out of this album. Felix produced the hell out of this album. Whew. I haven't listened to another album in weeks. The album is very uplifting, especially for a woman that is that feels very confident about herself or wants to. It's something that will pick you up. You know what I mean? Something that reminds you who you are and never to stop dreaming. And I feel like that's all Carifo's music, okay? She is so magical, mystical. She's a Gemini, of course. And it's so crazy how in this day and age, I feel like we can never really enjoy a project or it doesn't get as much credit as it should if it's not a Beyonce or Drake. You know, it's not fully digested to be consumed and talked about. You know, we're easily moving from one thing to another, and I can say I did that. You know, I'm guilty because when I first heard this album, I liked it, but I didn't love it. I loved Gemini Plus. You know, I played that song to the T. I played it out, and I loved Turning Heads with Big Crit on it. But it wasn't until, you know, I revisited sometime this year and I was just like, bro, what the hell? I've been missing all of this. This song Money Angels, amazing. Turning Heads, amazing. White Caprice, amazing. Thank You, amazing. Sober Thoughts, amazing. It's just so many good songs. I think every song on the album is good. But yeah, I'm fangirling because I would love to have her on the show. I would love to Carifo. I want to give y'all Eat, Pray, Love. Eat, Pray, Love, the book is great because it's a representation of a woman reclaiming her life, reclaiming her time and rediscovering herself. You know, Liz Gilbert did a great job just explaining her journey and just breaking free from burnout, social expectations, and just that constant need of not giving to herself. You know, she literally replenished her own spirit through travel to Italy, which is eat, travel to India, which is pray, and then travel to Bali for love. You know, she learned to prioritize joy, reflection, and just balance. And that's essentially what self-care was for her on her own terms. So that's why I'm giving y'all today. We need to keep having these conversations. We need to keep supporting each other. We need to keep pushing back against the norms that try to silence us. Let's break these barriers and show the world the power that we have, the power that we hold within all of us.
Thank you for joining me today. To the lives we lead, to the moments we make, to the dreams we wish, and to the fucked up shit we can't erase. Cheers to us. Catch us next time on Accept Addictions. You can always find us on social media at Accept Addictions Pod, right on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, anything you can find that's streaming. Have a good night, y'all. Welcome to Accepted Addictions with P-Dubs. Get ready to immerse yourself in a podcast that's open to people of all stripes and persuasions. Accepted Addictions is not just a podcast, it's a movement. We go over societal norms that are considered acceptable, but are often toxic to our growth, development, and even behavior. This is a platform where we explore the multifaceted identities within ourselves, recognizing that some versions have it all figured out, while others lean into that negativity. This is Accepted Addictions, where every version of you, every evolution of you, is not just embraced, but celebrated. So sit back, open your ears, grab a drink. You know I'll be sipping on my kombucha, and prepare for an engaging journey.
Why everything that's supposed to be bad make me feel so good? Everything they told me not to was exactly what I would. Man, I tried to stop, man, I tried the best I could, but what your addiction is? Accepted Addictions with P. Taboo.